now time for the Soulful Psalms segment of Beacon of Truth. The Soulful Psalms is where we take one of the Psalms from the Sefer Telachim, or the Book of Sung Praises, the wisdom literature of the Old Testament, which is part of the Jewish hymnal, which we also use in our liturgical worship as Catholics. In every holy sacrifice of the Mass, we have the Psalms, and we connect that Psalm to your everyday lived experience. Well, today we're going to continue our look at Psalm 18. So Psalm 18 is in Book 1 of the Psalms. All the Psalms in Book 1 are written by David, Psalms 1 through 41. The prescript or superscript of the Psalm is very long, so I'm just going to read the little part of it in Hebrew and the rest in English. It says, Lemenzeach ha-David ebed Elohim, so that for the choir master of David, the servant of the Lord, and the rest of it is who spoke the words of this canticle to the Lord when he had been freed from the power of all his enemies and from the hand of Saul. He said. So clearly David wrote this psalm after the persecution that he went through in 1 Samuel chapter about 17 or so, till the end of that book, about chapter 27 or so. We see he's being persecuted by Saul, and then after the persecution ended, he wrote this psalm in praise and thanksgiving to God. So we're going to take a look at just a couple of verses 21 and 22. David says, "The Lord rewarded me because I was just, repaid me for my hands were clean." Right? And so he gets rewarded for the Lord because of his just, because he was steadfast, even in the midst of persecution. He was steadfast and stayed faithful to the Lord. His hands were clean. The other hands, the people that were persecuting him were the hands that were dirty, the hands that were unclean, but his hands were clean in the eyes of God. "For I have kept the ways of the Lord and have not fallen away from my God." I love that. So even in the midst of persecution and trials and difficulties, he was faithful to the Lord. Yes, during these difficult times, sometimes we question, sometimes we even are a little bit filled with doubt, a little bit of hesitation about giving ourselves completely over to God and trusting him in times of trial and tribulation. But it's David, I think, here gives us the key that even during these times, that he reminds us to be faithful to the Lord, not fall away from the Lord, to trust in him completely and fully with the entire gift of our lives.
For more on the Psalms with Deacon Harold Burke-Sivers, check out Beacon of Truth weekdays at 4 p.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio and streaming everywhere you listen to podcasts.